I'm going to check for the wind noise on this video. Yes, yes, yes. I'll have microphones soon enough, but hopefully if you're at this channel, you can handle up close and personal, because you're like, if you can show up at this channel, then you can handle me, friend. Why it seems so challenging. I never thought I was hard to handle. That's what's so wild, is it's like, aren't I what everybody's seeking? Joy, love, happiness, like this feeling of bubbles and amazingness coming up on the inside, each to their own flair, fit, and flavor. You get what I'm saying? Five of Swords coming in here. Piercing that rose. Wow, the heart of the self. How challenging. Interesting. I didn't know I was going to keep talking, friends. I thought we were doing a reading here. Apparently this is some sort of collective, because I've got cards and I'm chatting. Well, the Page of Swords is at the bottom and trying to strike up a new idea. Ooh, affirmators, and it's coming in with the Ace of Pentacles, trying to strike up a new idea that you are going to love and be fond of. Look at that, friend. Look at yourself. Drink in your juiciness. Look at this glory. Do you see any inhibition or shyness whatsoever? That's like being free with yourself. You know that dance like nobody's watching, or when you up in your private space, you don't think about a thing, right? You're just all coming from the self. So that's what we're talking about, this new idea. Not all these knowledges of what has worked for other people, but striking out on your own. Striking out on your own. Without all the fuss and fluff is what they're talking about. And what seemed very natural, very like effortless and easy for you, just becomes something that you soar in. It's take shortbread. Shortbread is a cookie, if you don't know. It is probably, I would say, my favorite cookie, because it is so delicate and slightly sweet. There's never a time that it wouldn't suit my fancy, you know, but it's just got 3 or 4 ingredients. It's very simple and it's beautiful. But in order to be enjoyable, you need to do it incredibly well, right? Because if you're going to get into the simplistic, you're going to get into the basic. It's something that has the nuance to go with it. It's just not a matter of stick this, and this, A, B, C, D. It's just like a poet. If it's going to be reduced down and simplified like that, then let the words unct you in and speak the color and put in this nuance. Dancing with yourself, kind of, is what we're saying. All right, Page of Swords. Peregrine Falcon. Observation. It's a beautiful card to illustrate what we were just talking about. I'm going to give you a second to look at that. See this form and this figure? That's kind of like what we were talking about here, the basics, the page, striking out that brand new idea. Look at this that you're going to love. Coming down and igniting the third eye, the divine connection with your divine eye. So apparently not just the one here, but what it is connected to, the receiver. Oh my gosh. All right, we've made it, y'all. It's kind of like when they launch off into outer space. Gosh, that's a big boss ant. Let me get rid of that thing. That it can take them like 30 years to reach this planet and that type of thing, y'all. We've made it. We've reached mission control on the other side of life, and it is here. It's come full circuit. More than just reaching it, it has reached us and reached back out. So let's find out about some of this divine idea coming in, this divine commission and transmission going on here. Is there anything else in these? Well, sacrifice, yeah. I hear, we built this city. You see? There's a whole world that you've been imagining that maybe you're not even paying attention to, right? Because you've had to keep the conscious mind, the word mind, the verbal mind going on around here in this plane and in this land. But meanwhile, yourself has been striking up a whole new idea, has lots of energy flowing there. But I love that the Peregrine Falcon brings in the focus. So let's jump into some of the home focus there and find out what's going on in Tachi Tarot. 7 of Swords at the bottom. That's showing where it's all coming together. So that image was showing, like, you know, we have the ball of the sun and the rays that, yes, that guy, the ball of the sun and the rays that all emanate around from it, right? Well, this is talking about the emanation returning to source. So like laser precision, specific. You ever go to a restaurant and it's a place that's like very amicable to you zhuzhing things up your sort of way, and like that elderly gentleman that I take care of, he loves limes a lot. So if we ever go out to eat, I always ask them for a bowl of sliced limes because I love them too. And I don't mind putting that in my tea instead of the lemon. And you'll often get sort of this quizzical look, and I'm like, I nod my head to say, yeah, exactly. Slice up a whole lime and stick it in a bowl and bring it to us. It's talking about those specific things. If you know you like something and you like, it amps up to a whole divine level when you have it that way, don't be afraid to ask or to make the effort or to put the splash. Same as when I make muffins. You know, when you get them from a shop and they have that hard, those big crystal sugar all over the top, I have those at home. And when I bake my muffins, you better believe I sprinkle it up on top. Those little nuances of life, to talking about the luxury. All right, tell us about that luxury here, Peregrine Falcon. That we don't just want to observe, which this says observation. We want to interact. We want to experience this divine life. We want to have this luxury. I don't just want to see it passing by and somebody else and going, yeah, I would like to. No. I'm like up in my mouth. There was a Capricorn reading that said, put the pudding in your mouth. When you've been delivering pudding out to everybody else and observing the pudding in other people's life, it is time now, if we've made the full circuit, for it to reach you, your taste buds, your vision, your smell-o-vision, your sound, all of that, all those things coming in your way and in your flavor and into your world. 9 of Swords. Okay, so it seems to be that there's a little bit of malaise, maybe some exhaustion, some a little bit of reservation that this could really ever happen for you. Because see, when you see a 6-point star, that is the sun. That is these earthen stars that are here very close to us, supporting our planet. A lot of the common constellations like Ursa Major, that type of stuff, Big Dipper effect we got going on. So we need to see some of what's on behind this, because this is up in the forefront. None of these are actually piercing that eye. So how do we return? How do we return to that youthful energy, that belief, that faith that we can behold and truly have this in our earthen experience? That we can enjoy our life. At the bottom, we got 2 of Cups right there. We got the star, because in this case, the star in our system is the sun. But there's been that bit of a smackdown that did occur. That smackdown that did occur, that maybe everybody wanted what you had, and you just got used up. Is that exhaustion here, friends? You're like, I don't know if I can do it again. I don't know if I can get back up one more time. You might look at that reading. I don't know if it's titled Get Back Up One More Time or if it's just one more time, but I'm there with you, friend. I went through that and I was like, I can't convince myself anymore. But eventually, within a day or two, it's like the pulse was back in my body. The brain was starting to move again. It's like, okay, we can get up and we can do this. Victory. Victory. See these wands and the way they're weaving together? So there's a story that's being woven together, and it needed that, pardon me, y'all, anointing. Salt water on me as well as out here. Things weaving together, like in the tapestry, there had to be that time that those colors and those notes and those flavors were weaving in, because it is setting the scene for the dynamic that's ready to launch forward. She's like, coming your way, my friend, coming your way. If you hear my phone in the background, that is important, because I need to know when my parents are calling. But see, there's still this reservation and defensiveness. Well, I have a feeling that 3 times this has come up in this reading. I'm going to leave it there, because that's up to you, friends. You know, I don't give advice at this channel. I just show the energies that are going on, and that there are layers of defensiveness that you have, that you may be dealing with. This might have gone really deep. This might have been intrusive and forced itself so deep into your heart that it did pierce that rose, right? The heart of hearts. But there is grace for you. There's grace for that time to work through these things. So don't force and push and condemn yourself and judge yourself and call yourself names. But you do need to know that it'll take as long to work through it as it takes you to work through it. And I'm not saying do the work. No. That word is just here to talk about those feelings, experiencing those feelings, deciding what they were, what they are, and what they mean going forward. Let me say that again. So when I'm talking about the work, I'm not talking about that crap, because you know how many people with my son and everything he went through, there was this Reiki woman who actually did a lot of damage. She's like, well, she just needs to do the work. I'm going, oh, you shiz little bish. Don't be saying that up to my face with your little like 30-year-old self telling me, you know, and you have your little child that's still contained at age 10. Have you been through this? You know, that type of thing. I don't know if those were the words, but it just looked like, you know, working through. And that working through, again, simply means going through the feelings of what were you experiencing when you felt that feeling, okay? What are you experiencing with them when they're triggered right now, or when you even call them up or try and go there in your mind's eye, right? And what do they mean going forward? Say it's like me, I still come from the era when they were physical photographs that we had, and I was left with all the family's pictures. And so it was really hard when I went through that divorce to go through those and to know that nobody else cared to have them, and here they are, and my family meant everything to me, and I loved my kids and all that kind of stuff, and it was painful to try and ever look at those. So they still sit there, y'all. They still sit there in these photo boxes, and the boxes stare at me. So I'm talking to myself right now. Maybe that's some of you guys, I don't know. By going through your phone and cleaning out some photos, and if you can only handle a few seconds, you can't handle it at all, you know? You'll do what you're ready to do when you're able. And so maybe if you get there and it's too sensitive, or like I say, it's too holy, it's too tender, something like that, then say, okay, and just tell yourself, your spirit, hey, when I have the ability, bring me back to this. Steady me, stable me, comfort me, walk me through this, okay? So that just seems to be what's going on here, but just know, friends, look at that peace. Look at that comfort, look at that satisfaction. And it comes by introducing it. So when you begin and you start introducing those phrases to yourself, those moments to yourself, instead of just freaking out, running away and like ducking your head or pushing yourself through it, or being harsh with yourself, and you just introduce that new dialogue, that third party, right? Yourself, me, myself, and I, right? That's when it can begin to move forward in a whole different way. And you're going to find that extra essence, like they were talking about with the zhuzh, right? Like the nuance there, that it has a quality and a luxury to it that affords you to go through this. Like if you had to take a 24-hour flight and the super uber duper first class cost you nothing more, wouldn't you take it? Why? Because that luxury keeps you from getting beat up, right? Having to ride like this for 24 hours as opposed to those that make out into a bed and you have these full gourmet meals and just a few people and it's all light and expansive in there. Okay. You deserve first class in your life, first place, my friend. So let yourself come in with that luxury, with that nuance of things that could be a bit daunting or challenging, having that nurturance in there, that loving kindness in there along with it. So I hope this bit of a reading, this check-in, this collective has helped you guys. Hey, would you do me a favor and tap that like button before you go? And you know what? If you liked it, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel, Joy to the World. We'd love to have you here. And anyways, I love chatting in the comments down below. We'll talk soon. Love you. Bye.